Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with another decent deck profile, and this time we're covering the new Youthberk, which we have a new form for his Skyfall and also all those Revolve form. So it's kind of like a new deck idea, which I feel it interesting. So I actually bought some parts to make the deck. But I don't have like every single cater cards as I usually say in my cater sanctuary related deck profile. So I don't have everything. So there are cards that might be better uh, that I don't have, or at least right now, which I might try to grab them later because locally it's not easy to get, especially when you come into cater sanctuary. The generic parts are just hard to get. So I use what I can find, what I have to make something that I feel is working. So use this as a reference, and you can just make your own upgrades if you want to. So with the right line, we are using completely the new right line. So the grade 1, when the grade 2 rise on top, you can Soul Blast 1 to look at top 5. And then from there, review a Youthberk. Oh, review one card basically. You is a Youthberk, add to your hand. If grade 2 or lower unique card, you can call it the Rigor Circle and Shuffle deck. So you can get to call a beater, help you fight, or get the Youthberk that you actually need. It could be the Skyfall Arms to help you just do personal writing, or it can be all your revolt forms so that you can do your RevolDress, right? And then when the new Youthberk or even the old ones run on top, as long as you have the RevolDress skill, you can Soul Blast, you can Energy Blast Spray, and from your drop zone to grab a grade 2 or higher unit card add to your hand, right? So even if you drop a Revo form, you can just drop get it back, or any grade 2 or higher unit card, you can get it back to use it. And then when we get to our new form Rebuild, so he not like the old Skyfall where you can get to kind of last one, look at top 3, and search yourself another beater or maybe another form for you to use. This time he's more focusing on not ruining your day with RevolDress, right? So as usual, after the battle ends, you can choose. In the past, you can only do one thing, which is from your hand to use your Revolve form and write it on top, right? And then -2 drive. But this time, it gives you another part that you can sort of make your life a lot easier, which is by counterblasting 1, you can perform the RevolDress from the drop zone. So in the past, we just need to keep a whole bunch of Revolve forms in hand for us to keep using, or need to basically just search them, your hand, and just keep using them from hand, right? But now you can have a chance to counterblast 1 to dress from the drop zone, which is a very huge step. And during the battle phase, when this unit is right on top, so basically you performing your RevolDress, you can discard 1 card and choose your Vanguard, and it will adjust the drive into 1. Right, so in the past we need to use the witch in order to actually keep our drive. Now it's all built in with this Youthberk, so you don't need to worry about that part. So it solves the 2 problems. One, that you don't need to keep all your forms in your hand. You still can to save your counterblast cost, but if they are in your drop zone, you can just simply use them as well. And in the past, we need another unit to keep the drive. Now we don't. So that's the good thing. The part that is not that great is, of course, you don't have the searches anymore. But to me, I think this is more stable way of playing it. Even though when we are playing Youthberk, it's rarely that we are talking about stable, but now it's getting what we want to do a lot more easier. So I think it's a good new form for us to use, right? And when you use this card to write on top your refill forms, because after you use RevolDress, you will go back to this form. Okay, sorry, I just need to cough a little bit. So like after you do your RevolDress and turn, and you need to go back to this form, right? In the past, your refill form will just stay in your soul, but with this new form, when this right on top, those refill forms will actually get bind instead of staying in the soul. So if you are like kind of focusing on keeping your forms, if you're playing a full blast version of this set, which for a little spoiler right here is not with this build, that it might be a little bit problem for you. But if you're not playing the full blast part, I think it will be less of a concern for you. Okay, so let's go into the main deck immediately. First, we have 3 more rebuilds. We need the present right for sure, and then the forms I'm running is 4 of the Exist, 2 of the Tempest, and 1 of the Gust. Now you might have a question, like if we are focusing on Exist, which Exist and Full Blast is 2 different routes that you can go for, should we still use the old forms, right? To keep it simple, I would say you still have to, because these ones, with even the old ones, when you done your RevolDress and go back to rebuild, they will be gone. So it's not like you can keep reusing them anymore. So even though your focus will still be going through 4 times of Exist, but just if the game, if it drags that long, somehow you still want to have some backup plans, right? And sometimes, for example with Gust, is your only way. If you're not playing a full blast version, this is the only way that you can actually go for a train draft if you want to. If you don't want to, it's fine. But if you really like kind of suddenly want to do a train draft because that's how you probably going to win games, maybe, who knows, it is still a good option, right? And then Tempest is something that helps you to touch your opponent's board if you need to. But as I keep saying, what your usual route will be using Exist to keep pushing the power, because the first time you use Exist is plus 10k to the front row, and after that it will be plus 20k to the front row. And as long as you have an Exist in your bind zone, this will get the crit as well. So with all the built-in with the present right, you're basically plus 30k to the front row, plus 1 crit to your Vanguard with 1 drive, and then just keep applying the high attack pressure. So compared to Exist, these ones might not be that impressive, but sometimes you actually like kind of need to get that to happen, right? Like, I don't know, maybe when you attack your opponent, you still want to do a little bit of drive check, but if they hit like a defensive OT, it's just like, okay, it will be kind of a waste if I go into Exist, right? Even though my attack power is high, and even if I pull an OT, one of the attack will go through only, not the other one, so it might not end the game, and you just want to do something else while not you wasting your Exist, because once you use it, it will be gone. You at least have some other options to go for, right? So that is why I want to run more than just Exist and use other forms instead. And also I do have other reasons for it, which you will see in a bit. Okay, next, for the new card, I'm running the Delic. So this one is a rare from the new set, and it's a very important card. I tried it one game without it. I just regret it so hard. because this card, when it's placed to Riga Circle, you can counterblast one of the top 5 cards of your deck, and just up to 1 card with Youthberk is card name among them review and put into your hand and shuffle your deck. So it's basically how you get connected to your Youthberk pieces, and sometimes to help you use up your counterblast, because you're not like the old form that you will be using the counterblast for it. And because we don't usually go into Tempest, so we don't need to counterblast that much, so we can focus the counterblast on searching the parts that we are requiring for. And like, not only you can search for a removal form, you can search for a personal right, which is a very big step ahead. So I like this card so much after using it. And when it attacks, if you have a Cardfight Vanguard with Youthberk, its card name is plus 5k and you have turn, so you can still hit it for 15, which basically hits everything for now. Unless you're facing like a very big dragon tree, which is basically not happening. So I think for now you can just hit basically everything, and then when you go with Exist plus 10k, maybe plus 20k, maybe plus 30k with the Resident Ride, you will just hit a lot bigger. And then 2 of the Ringen, which is at first I'm trying to run a little bit more of it because of his guard restriction part. If he got stand by your Youthberk Vanguard ability, you can counterblast one drawing card and hit a turn. When your opponents need to guard from hand to Guardian Circle, they need to call at least 2 or more at the same time. So it is a very good guard restrict, but then because he doesn't gain a crit, and basically none of our forms is going to give our regards any crit, so you will not be relying on his skill that much, especially early game. So I decided to actually cut him down a little bit, so I have more rooms or other stuff, right? So yeah, there is the reason. And it did get the 5k if your bindings don't have a revolt form, which is great, but compared to him where he just simply gets the 5k even on his first swing, I think it's more important. And next is a card that you actually usually see in Full Blast, which is Vergosa, because this card helps you to gather 3 forms in your soul very quickly, so you can just go for a Full Blast, right? So your question will be like, why am I playing this card in this build? Now for a few reasons. One, because I don't have the generic support that generates the personal shield. If I have that, I probably would go for that one, to be honest. Yes, but because I don't have the card, and then I'm thinking of what I want to like utilize my Youthberk as a like strategy to play the deck itself. So what I come up with is to kind of use the way that we play Full Blast, where we just put in, we have 3 forms, so we can put in 3 of them to give us the draw power, right? And it's quite easy to get all these, right? And you just need to make sure the time is right to do your draw 1, and then you will be fine. And her first skill also allows you to soul blast 1, so by doing so, you are creating your pieces that you need to go into RevolDress, into the drop zone by soul blasting, and you are taking the forms out from your deck, so you're also at the same time filling your deck. So the draw 1 isn't that important, but if you're aiming for it, it has all the pieces that you needed to do that. But do remember, in order to draw a card, you need to soul blast a card without revolt form its card name, which basically is your right line and your personal right. So you will not be able to draw this quickly, right? And in order to help you out to get your souls a lot quicker, you will need your Carino. So this is a card that I actually spent quite a little bit of money to actually get, because after the new Youthberk announced, this card just went up so high. So, well, I have to take it. So I still go for it, and it proves herself very useful because I can searches the forms that I'm needed, and I can just put them into my soap, right? And then I can get her to run a lot more faster, and then when I need the forms to go to the drop zone so I can reuse them, then I can just simply just soap blast and start doing my thing, right? So up till here, the deck strategy is very simple, trying to squeeze these forms out from the deck and put them into the soul so that I can use her to draw cards, and she's also helping out. But if you just see these parts, you will see a problem, right? The problem is this soul blast to search, you still having a lot of forms in your soul, right? Of course, this is the purpose, because for full blast we are keeping the free forms so that we can just full blast, full blast, full blast, full blast, right? But with exist, we actually want the exist to go to the drop zone. Of course, having the chances to draw is important, but you will run out if all your forms stuck in your soul and you don't get any other forms. You have searches, but you are at the same time squeezing the deck. So what you are going to search is more likely to be your personal right instead of your forms. So, and I don't have the generic unit that gains me the personal shield, which is a very good card for you to use a soul blast skill. So what other options do I have? One of them is the 10k boost. Great one. So you all know about that. But at the same time, there is a card that in the anime, Raika himself showed me a very, very, very old friend, which is Painkiller Angel, right? So like on my day of testing, I'm like so struggling into any extra soul blasting cards because I'm not familiar with the Cater Sanctuary card pool. So like there are cards that can just simply jumps out, I think, as a grade 2, but then because my actual grade 2s are doing great, so I don't feel like replacing any of them with those, because they are indeed having a better functions. And then I don't have the generic support, which is a 1000% better option for sure, because the personal ticket is just helping me survive 100%. So when I actually get my hands on the card, I will use it in this build, just doing a little bit of adjustments. Maybe I will take 4 of her out to turn into that. It can happen, right? So my options has become the 10k boost and Painkiller Angel. So why am I going for Painkiller Angel is because I get the draw, and then the soul blasting one is also one of my purpose. So and she is a booster, while I have a lot of things that can just stay in the front to fight. So I choose her to be my options as a second soul blast cost, and it's great, right? She did her job. She drew me cards. She soul blast the cards that I want to go to the drop zone. That's all I need. So I'm happy that I actually remember and got reminded by Raika that this is actually a card that you can consider when playing Youthberk. So yeah, because she is definitely a very old card, and surprisingly it's actually going to help. I did try to use a Zeragon, but even though of course the card is great, but I don't play order cards in here, so I can't be like very confident that my Saragon will be activating every single turn. So this is why Painkiller Angel is kind of helping out in this situation. So instead of looking to get one to my hand, I get to draw one card instead, and it's still a booster, so I still keep some sort of booster for myself. So that's also another solid reason that I'm running the Painkiller Angel when I'm dropping off the Saragon. And I'm running 3 of the Sequana. So which you might have another question is like, okay, my Youthberk is dropping one hand to turning the drive into 1. Why am I using another card that turning my drive into 1? Because you don't always want to drop a card from your hand. You don't always want to. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. And without extra boosting, Youthberk himself is not going to hit very hard unless you're going to exist, right? So a 10k boost is going to apply the first Vanguard attack pressure to your opponent. If you don't have Person Right, at least it jumps to a 23. If you have Person Right, it can jump to a 33, which is a very, very big attack. And she also fills up your soul, so you can just use these cards more freely. So that's why I'm still running her to as a backup plan for me to have options, just like how the Youthberk give you options to RevolDress from your hand or from your drop zone, right? So that's basically the idea right here, and what's left are the PGs and then triggers. I'm using the Wild OT because I want to pick something back up, and crits are always great, and then keep it simple to go 8 crit for 3 of the try to get fronts and 4 heals. So very, very basic, which is a very crit focused deck. And then because I'm running Exist, so I'm trying to maximize my the front row powers as well, so I'm using fronts. But if you are afraid of not having a very good hand size, you can switch it to draw. I don't think it will hurt you too much, but trying to get shield as a high shield value, I think it, to me, is better. And because we have Exist right now, we get to restand one of our regards as well. So you can do 1 side attacks, 1 Vanguard attacks, 2 Vanguard attacks, and 2 more side attacks to do 5 attacks, which is a very great improvement compared to before, where you can basically just do 4. The extra attacks definitely going to help. And after this kind of adjustment, I think the deck idea wise and actually running wise is feeling a lot more comfortable from my end, even though we are still like walking on wire, where if we don't get specific pieces somehow we still lose. Our hand size is not that big. We are using our attacking power to kind of sustain the board, that for hoping your opponents to drop a lot of cards so that they cannot fight you back in a full state, and you're just trying to do it in 2 turns and hopefully you can win. So it's not something that can bring you to a top tier like Full Blast did, because for Full Blast you just need to counter blast and then you just do a whole bunch of stuff, and you can gain crit early game, you can do Twin Drive early game 2 times. So compared to that, I think Exist is not something that gives you the same kind of excitement, but then the excitement Exist going to give you is how your whole board being very, very powerful through time, and your first turn being a lot more powerful as well, because with Full Blast, of course, your goal is to get into Full Blast on your first great return, but it is not guaranteed. But with this Exist, I think it's at least a little bit easier for you to reach there, because you only need that card for your RevolDress, like basically for your first turn, which is a lot easier to just grab all the pieces and do stuff. And because what you can do with deck filling in this deck allows you to see triggers a lot more easier, so you will have a happy life with this deck. And if you are just okay, I feel the new form is fine, I don't want to find all the old stuff, right, then you can try to consider this build, because these ones are reprints, right? These ones are new, this one is new. This one, if you have the generic support, you could just go for it. Won't hurt, but if you can find it, you can use it. I think they are not that kind of expensive, as far as I know. This one, no matter which build you go for, you will need her anyway, so it's there. She gets reprinted already. And yeah, this one is SS11, so I think it's also a reprint. Other than that, it's not too hard to find. So because like for Full Blast, it might be hard to actually get yourself the Full Blast. So depending on what you want, if you have everything, you can try out 2 routes as well, see which one you like. But for me, because I do feel the new form is cool, so I use my own way, what I have, to build something that I feel comfortable, I feel working with the new form, and just enjoy the new form. Yeah, so do let me know your thoughts. Which of the route you prefer, the new form, the Full Blast, which one you like. Also share me your thoughts in the comments down below. How you feel about Youthberk. Subscribe for more deck profiles, deck fights, unboxing videos. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.